What's going on, guys? TCG, and today we're going to be doing a tournament report for two challenges I went to this past week. I wound up playing Quagsire, Naganadel, Keldeo GX at both of them, and together I went 5-3. I got third place at the first challenge, and I went 2-2 at the second challenge. And the meta around my area is a lot of Reshizard and Firebox, so I thought this would be a good play, and it turned out it was the best. It wasn't the best. It was a good play, but there's still some changes I would have made going back at it. So my round one matchup was against Mew Mew Box, and my opponent was still learning the deck, and what I mainly used was Keldeo GX, and he really didn't understand Reshizard's GX attack because he went to Flare Strike, or no, Double Blaze GX speed for the knockout, and I'm like, no sir, you only have 3 energy attached, and he couldn't get the knockout. So after that, I just pretty much steamrolled the game because he couldn't do anything else. I just kept Keldeo active, and I was constantly attacking, and he couldn't take knockouts. So I won that one pretty quick, or it wasn't quick. We were the longest game, but I won in the end. Going into round 2, I played against one of my friends, Caleb Vance. He was playing Ability Zard, and now that matchup I feel like I need more practice in, because they play a bunch of single price attackers, and they pretty much just outspeed me, and I wasn't able to do anything. I believe I whiffed a Quagsire on one turn, and that was important for the matchup, and I whiffed. So after that, he was always one prize ahead, so he wound up winning that game. So going into this, I'm like 1-1. I'm like, I just need to win out, and I'll be fine. I'm like, I was still believing in myself. I'm like, I can do this. So round 3 comes around, and I'm playing against Darkbox. Now I'm like, alright, for Darkbox, it's easy. Just set up Keldeo, and you're fine. And now it was one of my friends I was playing against, and I'm like, you don't play anything to get around Keldeo. She's like, no, I do not. She didn't play custom catchers. She didn't play any non-GX Pokemon. The only non-GX Pokemon she played was Naganadel, and that took 3 hits to knock me out. So I'm like, oh, I'm fine, this will be easy, because I also play the Fighting Quagsire. And now I used the Fighting Quagsire, I believe, once during that matchup to put a Darkrai Umbreon down to like 10 HP, but then she used Super Scoop Up, and I just used it again. So she was pretty much just prolonging the death. So after that, I was 2-1. I'm like, alright, my winning in. I just need to win one more. And there was a newer player that was still learning another deck as well. She was playing Mew Mew Reshizard. But for some reason, she had one power plant in the deck. And so I was joking with her. I'm like, yeah, I just need to play against you, and I'm fine, because I feel like I have a super good Greens Reshizard matchup. And so I start my opening hand, and I have Keldeo and a Wooper. I'm like, alright, I'm set. I just send up my Keldeo, and she just sits there, and the Keldeo was just sitting there, and she goes, and I had a busted turn 1. I had everything set up. I was all good. I was ready for this game. This was going to be my game. And she goes down, and she puts down Power Plant, and I start freaking out. I'm like, oh no, I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't think Mew Mew Reshizard would play Power Plant. So I'm like, oh, alright, she's going to take this knockout, and I'll just send up a Quagsire. Now, what she didn't realize was she played Power Plant. So she had a fully charged up Mew Mew in the active with all the energy, and she goes, Flare Strike. And I'm like, no, you can't. You have a Power Plant in the active. I'm like, yes, she didn't realize it, so I was saved. And just after that, she was constantly dead rolling. So I was able just to keep my Keldeo in the active and power up my bench. And I pretty much just steamrolled her after that. So finished that tournament going 3-1. I was pretty happy with how I did. My only loss got first. Now, what could have happened, which I was super scared about, was I could have played against Xander Pero's Naganadel checkmate, Now, I didn't know how that deck worked, and I didn't want to play against that deck, so I was just hoping I didn't play against him. And he wound up going 103 and got 4, so I was pretty happy that I didn't get to play against him. And now, going on to the next tournament, it was another challenge. I felt like I was fairly comfortable playing this again. So I set up round 1, and I'm playing against Charizard, Reshizard, Ability Reshizard. And I'm like, alright, I feel like I know a bit more since the last challenge. And we wound up just going back and forth. He had something prized. I don't remember what it was, but it was super crucial for the matchup. And so we were just going back and forth. I was taking knockouts. He actually benched the Reshizard, and I was able to double custom catcher up in the attack with Quagsire with 4 energy and get the knockout on it. So I'm like, alright, this is good. I'm ahead of 3 prizes. And so he kept attacking with Turtonator, and I'm like, oh, this is a problem. I don't like Turtonator. And so we wind up in the end, and I won. Barely. He had 2 prizes left. I took all 6. So I'm like, alright, this is my tournament again. I look around, and there's at least 6 Reshizards. And I'm like, I'm set. And two of my other teammates were there. One was playing Reshizard ability, because I helped him build the deck on the way to the tournament, because he drove me. And the other part, my other teammate was playing Blounds, Leceflon GX, Naganadel. Now, I thought I'd be fine against that matchup, and just put Keldeo on the active, and he can't mind blow me. But what I didn't realize was, I go to sit down round 2, and I'm against my teammate, and he's playing Leceflon. So I'm like, alright, I'm iffy about this matchup. I think I'm fine. I can just attack with Keldeo. Or do Naganadel Wars, where we just go at it with Naganadels. And that's what we started doing in the beginning. And then I whiffed Quagsire again, which was super crucial, because we were tied on prizes, and that will put me ahead. So I whiffed Quags, I'm like, dang it, that's the problem. And then after that, he goes in with Naganadel GX, attaches a Psychic Energy, and starts sniping my bench when I had a Keldeo on the active. I'm like, I'm not playing Mew. That's another reason I want to play Mew, because I just have no way of going around Naganadel. So he just starts sniping my Quagsires, and I couldn't do anything. So I just scooped it up when he had like 1 prize left. I knew I couldn't do anything. So I was pretty bummed out. I was 1-1, just like last tournament. And I go to sit down against my round 3 opponent, and I already know he's playing Green Zard. I'm like, oh, this is free. This is a free win. And so we're playing. It was a bit closer than I thought, because he played Turtonator, and I just really don't like Turtonator. And so we wound up, I wound up overkilling him with Quagsire. I had like 8 energy on the field, and used Hydro Pump for like 1,000 damage or something crazy. So I'm like, alright, 2-1, winning in again. I don't know why, but I'm always on winning in situations. So I sit down for my round 4 opponent, and I know he's playing Ability Zard. I'm like, darn it, I don't like this matchup. And now, we are actually going back and forth. He played Ninetales, and Ninetales is a problem, because if I just put Keldeo in the active, he can Ninetales around it and knock out a Quagsire or a Naganadel, or with just whoever has the most energy on it. And so I'm like, alright, I can't bench another Keldeo, because I'm already down an extra prize. And so we're going, and I don't know what I was thinking. I was keeping up the pace. What I think what was going through my head was, I can't draw back. I had a Keldeo GX in hand, and I'm like, I can't draw back into it. I need to I need to bench it so I can Cynthia it. And now, I believe if I didn't bench that Keldeo, I would have had game, because I was 1 prize behind. Because I benched the extra Keldeo, and he used Ninetales' ability to discard 2 fire energy and bring up one of their bench Pokemon. So he uses the ability, brings up my Keldeo, takes a knockout, and he has 1 prize left. I have 2 prizes left. Then he had no GXs on the field. And so I'm like, oh, alright, this is it, good game. And so I take a knockout with Quagsire, and he just had to put 2 fire energy in the discard to kill me with a Victini, and he hits it. So I'm like, alright, good game. So I finished off going 2-2 at that tournament. I feel like I could have done better. Like I said, I'm still learning this deck. I knew there was some misplays. Something I feel like I can do is I want to cut maybe a Keldeo. I don't know for what, but I don't think once during the whole tournament I used Royal Lord. I don't think the card's as good anymore as it used to be, but so I'm probably going to cut that for a Mew, but I don't know what I'm going to cut for Keldeo. Alright, and that's going to be my tournament report, guys, with my Quag Keldeo GX. Thanks for watching. I'm going to a cup this weekend. I believe I'm going to play this again and hopefully do good with it. I feel like I've been practicing and I feel like I can do better with it. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Remember, like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.